Dr. Nidhi is a very high volume cornea surgeon from Jharkhand. So she is debating for only cataract surgery.
A very good evening to all of you. So I would be talking about cataract surgery alone in a case of Fuchs with early cataract. So now there is a classification for this corneal dystrophy depending on the vision loss symptoms and the clinical findings. Also there is a slit lamp classification by Crackmer on the confluence and number of gut data. This is how a classification and grading would look on a specular microscope. And now there is a newer classification on topography where we see that the displacement of the thinnest point of cornea is there. There is loss of parallel and circular isopax, and there is a focal area of posterior surface depression towards the anterior chamber in such cases. Another newer classification has come on OCT findings where we see that there is another grade known as subclinical stromal edema, in which on the pachymetry we see that there is a negative value in the central cornea which is detected by the posterior elevation map. So now if we have this subclinical stromal edema, we need to see if we have to do a sequential surgery or a cataract or a combined surgery. Another thing that we need to see for a patient to decide if only cataract surgery or a combined surgery should be done is the central to peripheral thickness ratio. It correlates with the clinical grade of FECD. Corneal densitometry also helps in determining the decision for sequential or combined procedure, and it correlates with the post-surgical BCVA after DMEC. So when to do a cataract surgery only? Well, there is a full algorithm. First, you need to look at the slit lamp, see if what is the grade of the cataract, what is the edema. Then look if there is any absence of tomographic features. If the cataract is significant, there is mild FECD, no edema, then a careful cataract surgery only can be done first. And when to do a combined surgery, there have been cutoffs earlier saying that if the cells were less than 1,000 per millimeter square, then go for a combined surgery. But in these cases, it is difficult to measure the cells actually in the specular microscopy. And also, a cutoff was earlier made of 640 microns, in which either a EK or a combined surgery should be done. But there can be normal corneas without edema who also have this thickness, or thin corneas with clinical edema, which can be actually thinner than 640 microns. So how to decide? Also, FECD patients with advanced diseases have 31 to 58 micron thicker pachymetries in the morning, and which would resolve over 4 hours after eye opening. So the time of measuring of CCT is very important, and that should also be considered to improve the reliability of testing and decision making. So if we do only a cataract surgery, lesser ultrasound energy will be used to remove the cataract versus if the cataract becomes denser, and thus lesser endothelial damage. It is less stressful for the patient knowing that he is only going for a single general cataract surgery, not an EK procedure. It is less stressful for the doctor because it's technically easier. Lesser inflammation, lesser endothelial cell loss, better pupillary constriction for future EK, lesser management of fluid misdirection due to phacoemulsification, and the anterior chamber will later on become more stable because of adhesions of the IOL and bag, and thus we will have to face lesser difficulty of positive vitreous pressure for EK. And some of these cases might actually not require an EK for a very long time. A study showed that there was no difference in visual acuity improvement in sequential DMEC versus DMEC triple, and also there was less endothelial cell damage after DMEC only versus a DMEC triple procedure at 1 month and 1 year. So considerations during cataract surgery, that the IOL should be within the rhexis margin to keep it in place, longer tunnel length, all the chopping should be done in the bag or iris plane, stay away from the endothelium, use a soft shell technique, reduce the AFR, and keep the residual astigmatism, refraction on the myopic side, which is minus 1.25 to 1.5 for DSEC and 0.75 for DMEC. Also, proper counseling is a must that corneal edema may develop, and you might require an EK procedure in future. After cataract surgery, we can use Rho kinase inhibitors. These improve the topographical features. They also reduce the preoperative subclinical edema, reduce the post-op cell loss, and might actually postpone EK. So we have SICS, phaco, and femtosecond assisted cataract surgery. This, the cumulative dissipated energy used here is lesser phaco time, better effective lens position. So a case study showed that the refractive outcomes in early and late follow-ups was similar in conventional and femtosecond cataract surgery, but the spherical drift was more in conventional than femtosecond cataract surgery. So this is a personal case of a lady having bilateral fuchs. Vision was similar, specular microscopy and cataract grading was similar. Both eye underwent flax. The right eye over 1 year worsened to 5/60 from 6/18. Specular did not have any reading, so she underwent DSEC. Now, after 1 year, her BCVA actually is dropped down. It is 6/24 because she had interface haze. The other eye, on the other hand, is doing good with 6/9 on Ripasudil. So there are a lot of complications that can happen during cataract surgery. No matter how experienced you are, what about them? Because sometimes when you try to do something very good for the patient, you might end up with a very bad complication. So a surgeon should be very careful to work on the craters of Gatteta. Thank you so much.